Hello, the game is Terraria. One of my all-time favorite games. Maybe my pick for #1 game of all time. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say without putting things in categories like single-player game versus MMO. Terraria is not just 2D Minecraft. I thought it was when I first started playing it many years ago. It definitely is not. Give it a try if you haven't played it yet. But that's not what this video is about. This video is for not the new player of Terraria. Not the new player of Terraria, but the player who's maybe sunk a few hundred hours in, maybe a few thousand. Maybe you've played all the good mods like Calamity and such. Maybe you're looking for something else. Maybe you're like me and you like MMOs a little bit too. That's one of the things that draws you to Terraria. It's like an MMO. You know, you have a progression through the bosses, and you get items, and you become more powerful, and more powerful, and more powerful, and you build your character. It's one of the aspects I love about the game, and it's one of the common MMO type aspects: progression, character building, stuff like that. So there's a server out there that's very MMO-ish. It's basically an MMO. It's basically Terraria if it was an MMO. So I wanted to share that with everybody. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to show you everything that I know about it. It might not be everything to know about it, but it's everything I know about it. I've been playing on the server for a couple of years now. I played on it a year or two ago. They recently just redid it. Came out with a new version. It's a whole new server, basically it's a wipe. The old server's still available. They didn't wipe everybody's character. They just made a new server. And it's nice. Everybody's starting off fresh. All the old players are coming back. It's been live for about 2 or 3 months. It's active. It's in progress. Literally today, a change happened in the system, and I'll go over that later. But it has active admin, so I'm going to go over all this stuff. Everything you're going to need to know to get started on this server. Have fun. See if you like it. And before we begin, I got to do a quick sponsorship. This video is brought to you by viewers like you. You are the sponsor for this video. Your subscription to my channel, your likes, your sharing of the video, that all helps this channel. It helps my videos. And honestly, it helps fuel me to make me want to do more videos. You know, I get positive comments, feedback saying, hey, I liked your video, it helped me, or whatever, or this got me into the game. That stuff fires me up, makes me want to do more videos, makes me want to spend more of my time doing videos like these. So, do appreciate it. And with that said, let's get on with the video. All right, let's begin with what is this server, this MMO Terraria server. Teeria Legends is what it's called. I believe it's Teeria, pronounced T-E-E-R-I-A. It's a European-based server. And you can join by just typing in the DNS URL here, t.teeria.eu. So that's t.teeria.eu, port 777. If you go into port 777, you will join in this area. See this screenshot here. Basically, this is the free server. So you walk over and go in here, and you'll enter in the free server where you can just grab any item you want. You don't feel like farming in Zenith? You can grab 5 of them. Take off, bring them back to your own server. This is the adventure server. So you'll want to go in here, you'll start your character, you'll create a login, all that good stuff. This is the old adventure server. I think it was called like SSC or something like that. It's active, but nobody plays there anymore. We were all maxed out. Everybody had tons of cash and everything from playing for so long. So it didn't get wiped, but basically nobody's really playing there. Everybody wants to start fresh, so everybody's here. Just scrolling down, going over what this is. You know, he gives you some basic information. There's a class system. There's an experience system. There's item requirements. Very much like a MMO. You know, it's modded heavily. He's changed the game to make it like an MMO, but there's no mods. You don't have to download any mods. You come in with the regular base game that's updated on Steam or mobile, and I'm sure other platforms. I haven't tried other platforms, but I know Steam, PC, and mobile can all play on this server fine. Damage-based experience, so you get damage, you get money, which is sen, and experience based on their hit points and how much damage you did to them. Lots of performance fixes. The servers actually run really great. really haven't had too many problems. Like a lot of online servers crash and stuff like that consistently. This one runs pretty clean. Probably one of the better servers I've seen from that aspect, from a systems aspect. So he's done a lot of changes. We'll get into a lot of this stuff. They do have a Discord, which is nice. The Discord has a channel which monitors the chat in the game as well. So I'd like to jump on there sometimes at work on my lunch break and just see what people are saying, what's going on, and chat with them while I'm at work and I can't play or whatever. So it's nice to have that Discord. Ticketing systems for reporting bad players, stuff like that, for reporting bugs, for making suggestions. So he's got it set up pretty nice. All right, let's get in. And how do you start? How do you get in? How do you join in? You can sign up on here and add your characters to this website. I suggest you do it. You can also come here, click play now. It'll give you that link to kind of jumpstart your thing. But let me show you from inside the game. Okay, so you're in Terraria. It's up and running. You just hit multiplayer, join via IP. You pick your character, any character, or you can create a new character. It's all server side, so even though like this character here has 159 hours and I have all kinds of cool stuff on it, none of that matters. It's just gonna use my name and a blank template. None of that stuff's gonna carry into the server. So just use any character you want. Just know that whatever character you use, that name is gonna be shown. That's gonna be your name. That's actually your login name. So like if I use this character and this character because they're named exactly the same, the server will recognize it as the same character. So I could log in as this foobar or this foobar and it would be fine. So just create a character, design it how you want, name it how you want other people to see you in game, and then jump in. So let me jump in with, I guess my summoner has more of the map uncovered. So yeah, you just hit play and then server address, just type in this, t.teeria.eu. Now, the loading page that they have on a website is port 7777. That'll take you to that little page that I was showing you where you have your choices. Or if you just want to play the adventure server, the MMO server, you want to put port 7774. You want to use that port always. It logs you directly into the server bypassing that little entryway, so it saves you a little bit of time. Also, 7777 does not save your map data, so where you travel in the world will not be saved. Every time you log out, it'll reset to fully black. If you use 7774, it'll save your map data. Very important. I did not know that at first. So this is the one you want to use. So you just log in. It's that quick. There's no mods to load or anything. It saves all my map data. As you can see, you know, this guy's been around a little bit. When you start, you're going to start, let me see, you're going to start here. I think you start right at this basic spawn. You'll be webbed, so you won't be able to move, and you're going to have to do all the initial newbie stuff, right? So you're going to have to, basically they put this info here so you can read it, and I would highly recommend reading all of these signs. I'll just mouse over them. You can pause the video if you want. But when you get in the game, you can look at them. But it just gives you basic information about the server. There's a tutorial. There's a beginner place. Useful commands. I'll get into that later. The chest refill in the world. There's a housing system. Actually, let me bring up my list here so I don't forget something. So let's see, the features. There's a class system, there's a level system, there's an item requirement system, there's currency in the game that's used for things like ability upgrades, storage, trading with other players. There's a housing protection system. There's chest respawn, which I just said. The whole map will respawn. So this is the skyline, this little line right here. You can kind of see it on the map. Anything above this point will be safe and won't get reset. Anything below that point, meaning the whole world, will reset once every 2 days. So let me just check something real quick. I think it's warp H for house. Oh, goblin army. This sign right here will tell you when the next world regen is going to be. So 1 day, 13 hours. So just got regen today. And that just keeps it fresh, so the ores don't run out, so, you know, people just dig the whole world just becomes an empty hole. Oh no, we got a goblin thing happening here. There's stats in the game that just got added today, which is new. I don't know much about them other than they added stats to items. So, for example, this celestial stone, if you do item info, so II, and then link it, boom, or you can type it out in quotes. It's just easier to link it. It'll tell you some basic information, what the recipe is, where it comes from, that kind of stuff. But now it also tells you, it gives you a 7% crit damage. Let's see what this guy does. So that gives me 100 health, 4% damage bonus, 18.3% crit for wearing that piece of armor. There's also set bonuses and stuff like that, but that's brand new. That just happened today. It's something the admin was working on and just added today, so I don't know much about it. But it's just, you know, cool little stuff like that. What else is in the game? You can get experience by bossing, fighting the bosses in groups. You can get experience to level up by grinding mobs, doing dungeon farms. You can get experience. They have a quest system set up, experience and money, by going to these quest systems, which have level requirements, like level 50, kill something. Like, let's see what this one is. So it wants me to kill 7 giant fungi bulbs in 31 minutes, which actually, that one's pretty easy. What do I get for that? Oh, that's a nice chunk of experience too. So I'll probably try to do that quest real quick. I might actually pause the video and go do the quest. But, you know, there's, the server has a very active admin. He's on every day. He's making changes constantly, fixing stuff. You can go on Discord and see the change log. So that's a lot of what the server is. Now let's get into like where to level up, right? So you just started your character. Oh, so when you start, sorry, I'm jumping ahead. When you start, you're webbed right here. You have to do a login. So you'll be like login, right? And then it'll be like login. You'll have to do an email at email.com. And then I think you have to do like a password. Yeah, something like that. The username is your character name, but once you set that password and you log in, that's it. You're logged in. You don't have to do it every single time. It's going to see your account. It's going to auto log you in. You're good to go. If you want to make different characters, you just log out, save and exit, multiplayer, join, just pick a different character or make a new character. So that was my druid. This one's my warrior. You just log in. Boom. Auto logs me into my warrior. Good to go, right? So very easy. So I have 3 characters. There's 3 classes in the game. Druid, warrior, and hunter. I'll get into them later. So where do you go when you first start, right? So you want to use these little crystals to teleport around the map. So you have surface traveling, so you can get around the surface. You can go up here into the housing area. Is a good way to, like, if you want to start your house, you can like build in here. If you want to see who the highest level on the server is, they got little trophies up here. Oh, he just took that back. He must play at night, because I never see this dude on. I see this dude on who just got first place, but as soon as he got first place, this dude came in and took it back from you. 15-9-2. He's 15-4. That's funny, these two are trying to fight each other for first place. Sorry, where was I? I got distracted. So you could travel around, right, through these crystal systems, is what I was trying to tell you. You can go to the different little pre-made towns with the NPCs in them. You can go down to these boss arenas. Like, this is where you would come down to fight the Plantera and the bee are in the jungle. So basically you hit these signs with a pickaxe, and you have to have this item used to summon the boss. And then if you have that and the cooldown is okay and you have the amount of players you need in order to spawn it, the boss will spawn. And usually you need more than 2 people to beat it unless you're high level. You know, a lot of times there's 5 to 10 people fighting a boss, and these arenas are tough. Like these arenas are not designed to make boss fighting easy per se. Like it's not the type of arena you would build. This is you know, they make it difficult. You can't change these. These are all protected arenas. You can't change them or do anything to them. But we'll get into bossing later. So let's get back to, what do you do? How do you level up when you first get started? These 3 down here, as you can see, I've never been to them on this character. I just kind of, like, power leveled my way through it. I think I went to the dungeon and grinded in the dungeon with this character. But if you go... Oh, my goodness. Let me go back up to the surface. These turtles are going to keep attacking me. Somebody getting some sand. So, sorry, I was getting attacked. So if you go to these 3 little ones over here, they got a little area with signs here that gives you like some tips and tricks of how they play the game, and it has like 3 or 4 signs that you can spawn groups of mobs over and over and over to grind on. This area is level 10 to 20. I think this is 20 to 30, and this is 30 to 40. At level 30 to 40, you're not really considered a noob anymore. You're starting to get gear, and gear's starting to open up. But they have these just in case you want to like grind out here. It's a good spot just to farm mobs. You can go anywhere and farm mobs. One place a lot of people like to go is you go to this mushroom pylon, right? And then you jump down here. People usually dig a tunnel down, and they usually like build some type of crazy contraption arena down here, and you can just sit here and farm dungeon mobs. That's one way people like to do it. So, and a lot of new players like to do the questing. There's a lot of new quests, or low-level quests that they like to do. I don't really do questing that much. It's actually worth it. I was making this video, and I didn't like some of the clips that I used, so I was remaking them. And when I was doing that, I was like just showing the questing and saying, oh, I don't like doing the questing. And I actually did a couple of the quests, and I was like, wow, that's actually good experience for the time it took to do it. So, can be very useful. And there's a lot of lower level ones that you need to be like level 10 or something. So that's how you can get started. Some starting tips for you. I don't want to get into commands just yet, but one of the big ones, the biggest one I think when you're starting out is FC. So if you do FC command, it's find chest. So you could do like FC aglet, right? Aglet's something hard to find, right? The closest chest containing aglet is below and to the left of you. So you would go left and keep doing that command until it just says it's below you, and then you can dig straight down. So they made it very easy, and the chests respawn every 30 minutes, so it's not hard to get anything you need from a chest. So don't worry about that. It's a lot of new players get in and are searching all the chests and trying to figure everything out. They don't know about FC. Just do FC. Go where you want. Wings. The fledgling wings are up in this island right here on this chest. I think there's a red balloon in this chest. I don't know if it changes from reset to reset. But, so if you do like the FC fledgling wings and go over here, it would tell you, okay, now they're just above you, and you would know to go up. What else is there for new players to know? Oh, feathers. One big tip is there are no harpies in this world because the whole sky area is for housing. So no harpies means no feathers. So what they did is they changed the loot table on some mobs, and you want to get feathers that come out of like trees or come out of the grass. One good area to do that is over here. This area is all grass. Sorry, let me get some place where they're not attacking me. So to the right of town, if you hop out at the snow pylon, I was calling them crystals, right here starts the overworld grass. So there's a lot of trees, chop down the trees. Look for birds earlier in the morning. They tend to spawn early in the morning, so like 4:30, 5 a.m. till maybe 7 or 8 a.m. would be a good time. You know, just quickly run through here and try to look for birds to kill them and get their feathers, and they also drop souls of flight. So good tip for a new character there. So you're leveling up. You get to level 10. Now you need to pick a class. So let's talk about classes. Classes, it'll actually be easier for me to show you on our website for one reason. So if you go to our website and you click, is it servers? Yeah, servers, where it tells you information about the servers. Adventure dimension. If you click here, this is the only link, which is weird, and I just happened to find it just reading their website. Restricted items. This is a nice little filter list. It's a web-based list. There's a way to see it in game, but this really lays it out for you. It shows you what the class requirement is and the level requirement is for an item. So Druid level 30 in order to equip this item. So it'll help me just explain the classes a little bit if you can see what the classes are. So we'll just go down in this order: Druid, Hunter, Warrior. So the overall for the Druid, the overall theme, and let me just do it by level. For the Druid, is there a support class? So a Druid is a magic user, so they can use all armor for magic users and all magic weapons. And they're also more of a pure summoner. And what I mean by pure is they can use whips. So they can have all the summoner armor, all the summoner summons, and they can also use whips. Their ability is an AoE heal, an area of effect heal, so you heal other people. And that's needed for like bossing, basically, right? So I think most of the abilities are used for bossing. They have cooldowns, like I think it's like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. And you can upgrade the abilities, but I don't want to get into abilities, but you can upgrade them, make them better, more powerful. And the abilities are actually one of the ways to get experience. So when I say you get experience by bossing, you get experience for killing the boss, but you also get a lot of experience for using your ability during a boss fight. So druids are like the healers. Are they 100% needed? Nah, I mean, tanks and DPS can go in and kill bosses, but the harder bosses, and it's just great to have a healer. It's great to have multiple healers. So if you want to be a druid, to have a good ability, they're always going to be kind of needed. Like anybody's needed. It's not like a normal MMO where you're like, oh, I don't want that class. You know, you just jump in. You don't even have to be part of the group. You can just jump in on a boss kill. But the more druids, the merrier. So if you like a magic class, or a pure summoner that uses whips to get more summon damage, this is going to be the class you want to pick. And with classes, you want to pick the class that you want to play, that you enjoy playing, because the grind is pretty long. This is an MMO, and they expect you to play it for a couple months before you're maxed out, right? So, like, you can sit here and play this thing 12 hours a day, and you're not going to get maxed out in a week. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a nice little grind. So anyway, let me show you. The reason why I came to this webpage is like just kind of show you, to give you an example of what's going on here, right? So these are all the low level any class, because there's no classes before level 10, right? So like you got to be level 9 before you can even use rocket boots and a cobalt shield and stuff like that. Oh, that's actually another beginner tip. Rocket boots, there is no goblin in the game. Rocket boots drop from the dungeon. Best way to get that is just go down when the higher levels are farming the dungeon and just snag some. They don't care about the loot. They're there for experience. This stuff drops all the time. You can go there and snatch up all the loot and sell it to the vendor and make a couple plat. They won't care at all because they're so full. They're just there grinding experience anyway. Or you can just ask, has anybody got rocket boots? But a lot of people they're just tired of that kind of question, so you can just go down there and get it yourself. And so as we go on here, so let's get up into actual classes, right? So when you hit 10, you'll get mithril, or I don't even know how to pronounce that. The pink stuff. I think it's mithril on the server. You'll get like a pickaxe and stuff like that, depending on what class you get. I think if you pick druid, you'll get a vampire frog staff, that kind of stuff. So it'll start you out. But I just kind of want to quickly go through this, get through some of this basic stuff. You know, as you level up, you know, at level 20, you'll get the optic staff. I'll point out some key things here, right? Some magic weapons. Now we're heading into the mid-20s. You get your cool whip at 23. That's really important. Only druids can use whips like that. You start getting magic weapons that you can work towards, and accessories and all the good stuff, right? Ivy whip at 28, which I skipped the ivy whip. Oh, that's a hook. That's not a whip. Okay. was gonna say I skipped that. I didn't get that. Usually at the 10s you get a new armor set or qualify for some type of armor. Normally, so 10, 30, 50, 60, 70, 90, 100 on up. So I'm just gonna flip through this. I don't want to. This is gonna be like a longer part. You can come here yourself, right? So I just kind of wanted to kind of show you as you get higher level. Now you're level 60. Like it takes a long time to get to 60. You're just now getting hallowed gear and stuff like that. Um, you're just getting the better whips. You're getting the pygmy necklace. You're getting better wings. You know, summoners really, in my opinion, start getting pretty powerful by the time you get the Xeno staffs. So around level 80, you're starting to get a lot better stuff. Dark Harvesters. You're starting to get all the better, like all the higher end gear. You're getting Tiki armor. You'll be in spider armor for so long if you're playing as a summoner. Mages tend to be a little underpowered at first, so most people kind of play as a summoner until they're higher power and they can get like, you know, crazy magic weapons. Anyway, so enough of Druid. Hunter. Hunter is your DPS class. So their ability is a DPS ability. They hit their ability, and I think it's like swords that go bop 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 bop, just do a lot of DPS. They're also a DPS class because they can use all ranged armor. So you're only going to be able to make the hood that goes with ranged. It's the only class that can use, you know, repeaters and bows and arrows and guns and all that crazy stuff that does a lot of good DPS. Also, the hunter is a summoner, so you'll be able to wear the spider armor. You'll be able to have at the same levels as a druid, hunter and druid. You'll be able to have all the summons. The only thing you don't have as a hunter summoner is the whips. You'll be using your guns, and your summons will be doing extra damage. So I think that's one of the, you know, that's how hunters get pretty good DPS. They're considered more of a DPS class. Now don't get me wrong, all classes can DPS pretty well, even a warrior, but a hunter is probably going to be number 1. I think a druid's going to be number 2 DPS, and then a warrior's going to be number 3 when they're bossing anyway. Warriors can make DPS builds where their defense is a little lower and they're kicking butt, but in my opinion, what's DPS? You know, at the end game, it's all about bossing. So you're grinding out the bosses and then doing other stuff. But yeah, let me just go up here and give you an example of some higher level, what you're going to have at a higher level. Right, so 60, 70 is usually where classes kind of start getting interesting, right? Queen gun, sniper rifle, the piranha gun, everybody loves that. Combining with your chlorophyte armor and your, you know, stinger guns is a good one. You'll have the Xeno staff just like the druid, same level. So hunter's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting class. A lot of people like the hunters. They just want to. A lot of people love ranged in Terraria for whatever reason. They just love ranged weapons. Warrior, very interesting, fun class in my opinion. I'm not big on melees. Me personally, I think the admin has a little bit of a favoritism towards warriors. A little bit. I feel like they're pretty powerful. They're pretty powerful. I feel like, but at the same time, they're weak in the sense that they're lowest on the DPS tier. But I'm really enjoying the warrior on this server. My 2 favorites so far are druid and warrior, and I also played my hunter a little bit. So anyway, standard stuff, right? So warriors are going to be like swords and spears and all that crazy stuff. Some call outs for, let me get into the ability. The ability for a warrior is a tanking / lifesteal ability. So it's real quick. It's like a minute and a half, 2-minute cooldown, just like everybody else's. You can upgrade it just like everybody else's. But the damage you do will heal your life. If you're doing damage, you'll usually be able to get a good amount of life back. But certain boss mobs, like the King Slime, has huge defense. You'll be doing like 5 to 20 DPS on that thing. So the damage you're doing, you're not going to get a lot of health back when you're doing damage to that one. So, but it also does have some defensive, like when you get higher level, you can spec it and upgrade it to where it reduces 70% of the damage while it's active. But it's only active for a few seconds, 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds, something like that. So it's not like some game-changing ability, but you do get, like all the other abilities, you do get experience when you use them. So it's important as a tank to use that ability. And I'm not 100% on this. I could be wrong, but it's important for a tank to use that ability while he's tanking the mob, while he's tanking the boss, to get that extra experience, along with the damage experience from killing the boss. But let me just go through and show you kind of what the warrior's doing. Right, so he's using a lot of the tridents and swords. Some very helpful things with the warrior starting out. Did I pass it yet? Yes, the light disc is helpful, but I passed one of my favorite weapons. Shadow Flame Knife. Everybody loves that for some reason. Inflicts Shadow Flame on hit. That's probably why. Where is the best one? Where is the best one? Oh, level 10. Wow, that's why. So at level 10, I would recommend trying to get this as soon as possible. This thing, I still use it at level 50-something to farm with down in a dungeon. Because it passes through mobs, so the flying knife floats wherever your cursor is, and it will stay out, unlike a yo-yo. It'll stay out as long as you want. So you can go anywhere on the screen with it, and it'll stay out forever. So you can like kind of build a trap. Mobs will come in, and you can it'll just go ding, 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 and hit them. I'll get upwards of 1,000 DPS with this thing, which is really nice. And at level 10, that's insane. I didn't get this thing until my 20s. I wish I would have got it sooner. So I would definitely get the flying knife as soon as possible, the shadow flame as soon as possible. What other call outs? I don't know what you call these, the ball and chains are always good. You can drop them down and mobs will just hit them at like a farm, so they're very good to have. And then all the basics. Let's go up to like level 70, right, to give you an idea of what we're working with at higher level. Somebody was saying, I think it was this one was good. Yo-yos, if you like yo-yos, of course. Get your chlorophyte. The Golem Fist is good. My personal favorite, and I want to push my warrior to 77. This has always been one of my favorite weapons in the game, and I hope it's not changed. It's like the Captain America shield that you get in the 20s, but it's faster, does a lot more damage. I've always liked this. I think this in combination with the Death Sickle and this Brand of Inferno would be 3 really good weapons. I think in your 70s and 80s, you start really... That's going to be my happy time. That's going to be my happy time when I'm playing. Alright, so that's classes. So the gist of it is play the one that you like. If you typically like playing melee in Terraria, be the warrior. If you typically like range damage, be the hunter. If you typically like to be a magic user or pure summoner with a whip, be the druid. That's my advice for classes, because you're going to be playing it for a very long time. And don't be afraid to make a couple alts and get on to like 20 or 30. It starts getting really grindy after 30. I don't think you're wasting too much time by rolling an alt and getting them to 20 or 30 and checking them out or something like that. But again, this is an MMO, so it's a time commitment type thing. Alright, let's see. What next? So, you pick your class. You want to grind them up a little bit. How do you do that, right? So you can do quests from the quest board. You can do bossing, but that's not available all the time. So one of the ways is go down in a dungeon. Now, the world resets every 2 days, so every 2 days usually one of the higher level people will come down and they'll build a little arena like this one. This is me rolling, I think, my druid, I'm not sure. Being a little noob, and me and somebody else were just down here utilizing, I think they're called hoiks or whatever they're called, little elevators that lift the mobs up. So see how they fall down and then they get shot up, and there's a bed there to bind in case you die. It's just a nice little place to sit there and just grind, fast respawns. But look at the experience I'm getting, right? I'm getting 1 experience, 2 experience, stuff like that. I've noticed when you're low level, it's great. When you're higher level, I've noticed I'll get 10, 15, 16, sometimes 20 experience from these mobs. when I'm grinding, and then if I grind for too long, it'll start dropping down to 8s and 7s and 9s, and then 5s and 4s, and then 1s and 2s and 3s. So I do think there's like some type of rested experience or some type of experience degradation, so you can't just sit here and only grind. So keep that in mind. I don't have 100% factual proof on that yet. I'm still working on it myself, trying to figure it out. But I do think there is some type of system in place that isn't talked about that prevents you from just grinding forever. So do a little bit of mix, right? Grind some stuff out like this, do a quest, do some bossing when that's available. When other people are killing the bosses, then come back, do some grinding. Keep mixing it up a little bit, you know, don't just sit there and do one thing. But I do think these arenas that are created are pretty nifty. I created some this weekend, and people seem to like my little simple arenas. And then they took them and modified them a little bit and hooked them up and made them sharp and pretty, and they were kind of digging it. So that was kind of fun. I was having fun just watching people modify my simple basic arena. So bossing is one of the other ways, right? So a lot of times you'll have like a higher level tank will be like, hey, come join me for a boss. So you'll see everybody in the boss arena fighting. Definitely jump in. It's one of the best experience gainers in the game. Make sure you use your DPS ability, your healing ability, your tanking ability to get that experience for the ability while you're bossing, along with the kill experience. I don't know the exact mechanics behind how that works. I think if you die, you might lose some of it. I'm not sure how that works. But as far as loot, everybody gets the loot bag. As long as you come here and touch the boss one time, you can go on the other end of the server. If you die and come back, you'll still get the loot bag. Even on classic normal mode, it'll drop the loot bag. So you always want to do bosses, plain and simple. Always, always, always want to do bosses. Best experience, best way to get loots, need it to progress. Okay, so let's go over some of the other aspects of the system. Let's do currency, storage, housing, and then I'll get into some of the commands, the rules, stuff like that, all the fun stuff. But it's very helpful. This is actually the more helpful part, I think, other than how to level up as a newbie. So let me jump in. I'm going to use my druid just so I have summons flying around. I'm going to keep all the little stupid mobs off me. It's one thing I don't like about the warrior. No summons. So you don't... I mean, well, actually, you do have one summon. You have your fire imp. Man, I can't wait to get some UFOs. This sanguine staff is very nice. I recommend it. But man, I can't wait to level it. Get some UFOs. Anyway, so currency. So I think currency is based off mob hit point. And also, I think, like I said, the XP / currency degrades, I think, over time. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it seems that way. So when you kill a monster, like I just got there, I got 1 sen. I don't know what sen stands for, S-E-N, but that's the currency, right? So as you can see, my balance right here, I have 1.21 million sen right now. Seems like a lot when you're a newbie, but I'm broke. I can't buy anything. I don't have enough to buy anything. I don't have enough to buy any more storage. I don't have enough to upgrade my abilities. So as you get higher level, you need more and more and more to upgrade your storage. So the sen is used for upgrading your storage, upgrading your abilities, mostly for storage. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Upgrading your abilities costs millions towards the end. Storage, the same. And is it for anything else? I can't think if it's for anything else. It's mostly for abilities and storage. It's also for player trading, right? So there's a trade system in the game. You could do like trade. Who's online? Did anybody say anything since I joined? I don't know. There's only 6 people online right now. It's late. But you do like trade player name, right? What's he doing? Putrid Scent. He wants to trade for flesh knuckles. So basically, if I wanted to trade him now, I would type trade his name, and then I could type trade his name and then a number amount, right? So like trade sub L. You could probably even abbreviate it if there's nobody else on the server with that similar name, and then you could do like 10,000 for 10,000 sen. That's how you would trade money. But if you just did trade his name, you can then trade items. It'll tell you it's okay to drop items that you want to trade. You can do this anywhere in the world. Then you would just like take the item and drop it. It won't pop out of you. It'll go into a queue and it'll be like, you'll both see so-and-so added this to the queue. He can add stuff to the queue. Once you add everything, you both agree to the trade. You hit trade accept, and it'll swap it out. So you don't have to like run up to people and drop it and trust them. There's a trade system where you can't get ripped off. I think the admin actually guarantees, like, if you got any problems with that, he'll take care of it. But if you guys are trading in any other way, he doesn't take care of that for you. So that's basically the currency system. The housing, because the world doesn't reset above, so here on my druid I have the world a little more uncovered. So because the world doesn't reset above this line, this is where the housing is. So basically, you just use the command. Can I see chat? Yeah, you can see chat while I got the map up. You just type house, and then you can see the commands for the house. And then you see house 1 sets top left point for creation. So you go up, you're a new player, you want some place to store your stuff. You would want to go warp H would put you here, and then you can jump around on people's houses, go over to a spot that has nothing, and then basically just put some blocks down, right? Make sure it's not protected. And then let's say this was your house that you blocked out. You would do house 1, click on that corner, do house 2, click on that corner, and then it sets your parameter. And then once that's done, it's not protected yet. Once you set the parameters, you gotta do house create and give it a name, right? So house name, my big old house, you know what I mean? And then boom, it'll be created. That area is protected, only you can edit it. You can do house TP to teleport to your house. You can do house allow to allow a friend or an alt, so that like when you make an alt, you just do house allow and his name, and they'll be able to come to your house and edit it. They won't be able to warp to it. So what you can also do is, you know, make an alt and then make another piece. That's how this guy's is so big, by the way. So like, this is probably the size of the house you would get. Let me see. One, two. Yeah, that's probably about the size of the house you would get. Right here, it's probably one person's house. So if you got it all, you could do another one. And if you got it all, you could do another one. And then you could give all 3 your access. You got a little bit bigger house. So people with big house like this, that's probably 4 characters. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean? But that's basically it. Now you don't have that. Now you can put all your stuff in here, and you'll look at people's houses, and they're well designed. Some are crappy like mine, but it's a nice place to put your things. But you can't put chests in this world because chests respawn automatically. So you can't add any chests. So what do you do for storage? Well, you do storage command, and then it gives you a list, right? So you can do storage list, storage open, rename your storage, expand your storage. So mine, storage, expand cost. So my next to get another storage costs 2.3 million sen. But I think I have like 18 storages. I almost have max storage right now. So they're actually not that expensive to get, but you definitely want to get some storage. So let's do like storage 3, I think is my ores. I don't name them. I just remember I try to remember what the numbers are. Right, so you can see it kind of takes you down here into this little pre-made area. You have your piggy bank, you have your safe, you have the old man's army vault, and you have your void bag. So you have 4 starting off before you even buy any storage. And then you can get basically 20 storage chests, buying them with sen. And then you can open them up and use them as you want. And it's basically stored server side. So I never had anything missing out of these, so it seems to be pretty safe. So that's storage, nice little storage system. It's a little bit command based, which kind of gets tedious. You can't come down here and click on these. So it just tells you use storage open to open your storage. use storage, open, and then the name of your storage. So you can name your storage like gems, and then you'll do like storage open gems, and it'll open that up. Like I said, I just use numbers. Pretty nice storage system. Let's go over some of the commands and some of the rules and just some general tips, and then I think that'll be it. I'm just going to clip it real quick. So when you start, you have these little info things. A new player? No, that's not a new player. I would recommend reading them, right? So this tells you about the server. Frequently used commands. I don't use bank that often. Check your balance or pay other players with that. Level is your level progress. So if you want an exacting number for your level, it'll tell you where you're at exactly. Trade, I showed you that. Trade with other players. Storage, showed you that. Item info, I showed you that earlier, but also very helpful. I'll show you again. II for short. And then you could be like, aglet. It doesn't need quotes unless there's spaces, but I'm just putting them there so it's proper. And it'll tell you, like, it's used for craft that, it drops from this, obtained from chests looted in this world. So it'll tell you everything basically you want to know about it. Even recipes. There is a recipe command. You can do the same thing, recipe and then the name, and it'll give you exacting details of all the possible combinations of recipes if you would like that. But item info is good. You can also, like I showed you earlier, I just learned about this myself, and then click the link into chat by holding, I think it's Alt, right? Alt with the chat bar open, hold Alt, and then left click. And then it'll tell you information, recipe, mushroom platform, and then there's other recipes. So it'll show you like one recipe. If there's more, you gotta use the recipe command. But it'll also say use to craft, and it gives you a link of everything there to craft. So that's a handy command. Again, there is no goblin, so you need to get the goblin boots from the dungeon. Same as the workstation for modifying items, merging items together. And to reforge items, they kind of modified that. They changed it a little bit. It's a command-based system now. So basically, to reforge, right? To reforge this Ruthless up from a Ruthless to a Legendary, it's going to cost me 20 Demonite and 20 Creamton bars. I don't even know how that's pronounced. And then also some Sen. So the reforges aren't too expensive. It's actually harder to get these bars than it is to get the Sen. And then you can reforge it. And it's, for weapons, it just goes increasingly. So it's each step up until you get to Legendary or whatever the top is. But obviously for summoning weapons, you want to stop at Ruthless. For armor, it's a little more difficult. The head actually was easy. Let me see what it was for the chest. So I just hold it, reforge. Yeah, so that's why I don't have this reforged. Just to go from hard to guarding. So one more, so it goes like +1 defense, 2, 3, and then max 4. So you got to do it 4 times. You need all these loot bags from these various bosses, right? So you need 2 Skeletron Primes, a Skeletron, 2 Skeletrons, 2 Deer Clops, 2 Queen Bees, 2 King Slimes, and pay a little bit of Sen. And you can raise it 1 defense point. And then you got to do it again. I think it's 2, 2, 2, 2, and raise it 1 defense point. So you basically need 8 of each of these bags to max out 1 piece of armor. And then you'll need 8 to do that. So a lot of bossing, as you can see. So you definitely want to be killing these bosses. And they're on cooldown timers. They're on 20, 30-minute cooldown timers. And sometimes you'll need a tank, or you'll need a healer, or you'll need DPS. You can't do it alone, not until you're high level. So definitely wanna be bossing. What else do we have here? So that's reforging. Shop, I don't use shop much, but it is handy. It sells stuff that's like typically not in the game. Yes, because there's no stars, right? Because the barely any stars fall because of the way the skybox is, so you can buy them. The spooky wood, there are no Halloween events right now, so they sell spooky wood. That way you can make spooky armor. Bone blocks, I don't know. What else they got? Pixel blocks. Moon lured legs. I don't know what that's about. Wyvern banners, since you can't get a wyvern banner because there are no wyverns to kill in the game because of the skybox. Harpy, same thing. There's no harpies, so just he's just allowing you to buy these things that you really can't get for whatever reason because he had to modify the server. He's just putting it available there for you. Some people like it. Some people want to have banners in there, whatever. Help is probably the best command, right? So help gives you a list of all the commands. I do that a lot. When I started, I did help a lot just to see the different commands. There is a whisper and a reply system, so you can whisper somebody and then use reply to have quick private conversations if you're like negotiating a trade and you don't want other people jumping in on you. I did the find chest earlier, FC, and then the item you want. It'll tell you where the chest is, so you can easily find that. Home takes you back here or to your bed. Warp, there's a few warp positions, like warp tutorial will take you down to that newbie area, I think. Warp H takes you up to the top, to housing. There's a few others, but they're the two main ones. Oh, rules is a good one. Make sure you read the rules, no joke. He's serious about the rules. He is definitely serious about the rules. He got on to me about it one time, and I honestly, I thought I knew the rules. But apparently I didn't read them well enough. But yeah, I would just go through this. It's basic stuff, you know. Don't impersonate the staff. Whatever the staff says is final. Don't modify the game client. Don't cheat. Don't exploit. If you find a bug, report it. Don't use macros or anything that can do auto clickers, key jamming, that kind of thing. Don't scam people. Don't harass people. Barring other players from any activities prohibited. Griefing building areas and stuff like that. I actually had somebody like dump water all over my house. That kind of pissed me off. While the admin was reprimanding me about something that I didn't read here, guy was harassing me. I'm just like, what, you know, okay, yeah. What about this guy? Anyway, no advertising. Don't sell your accounts. I can imagine people would want to buy an account, like instead of grinding it up, grind an account up to 150, sell it. I can definitely see people wanting to do that. Any MMO is going to have that kind of stuff. Oh, voting. I forgot about voting. So if you go to the website, you can vote, put in your name, and then vote for the server. You get a loot bag. The loot bags have a chance of dropping a high-end item that's worth a lot of money, like could be 5 million sen it's worth, 10 million sen. Basically all the stuff that comes from the Halloween event and the Christmas event. It has a 1-2% chance of dropping each one of those items. So in the end, it works out to be like 10 or 15% chance. I have yet to win a nice item. I keep getting the pots. Basically, the booby prize is 30 of a certain type of potion. I just went AFK. There is a very strict AFK policy. I think it's like a 2-minute timeout. It's going to send you AFK. It was really annoying as a summoner, but if you just noticed when I went AFK that time, my summons didn't disappear. That's because literally like 2 or 3 days ago, he updated it, and he made it so like when you go AFK, your summons don't disappear. Because that was like one of the things I was like, jeez, like I really want to just use an auto clicker. Not that I'm AFK auto, clicking, playing or whatever, just so I don't go AFK, because you'll be sitting here just holding down a thing, killing something, but this doesn't count as being active because you're just holding the mouse down. So then you'll just warp AFK, it'll rip all your summons away, and then you warp back, and it's like, and then you gotta resummon your summons and redo any buffs or anything like that you had. Wow, loud lightning. So, I'm still there. So, it's nice, and that's part of the active admin thing. Like, he's actively looking at like what's bugging people, what's how to improve the game, and then he's making those changes. So that was really cool. That's some loud lightning. What other commands were there? I think that's about it. Let's see. Refilling the world chest. Went over housing, voting. Oh, the settings over here, you can change those a little bit. World regens, we went over that. Discord server, went over that. I think that's about everything. And I did say do the feathers, talk to you about the rocket boots. I think I covered everything. I think that's the basics. I mean, I don't think there's much else I can tell you other than, like, I don't want to sit here and make a 5-hour video telling you where all the specific things for class upgrades can be found. I think that's enough to get you going. You shouldn't be stuck. You should kind of have a direction. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, if you did like it, hook up a subscription if you like these kind of videos. I'm all over the place. I play all kinds of games. I feel like I make unique content. You're not going to see this video, I don't think, many other places telling you about this server and then giving you detailed information about the server. That's kind of what I do. I look for something that, like, I wish I had. You know what I mean? That's basically my criteria. I wish I had a video that I could watch that tells me about this server, that it's fun to play on with other people, and it's an MMO. It's Terraria MMO, basically. And I wish I had somebody give me some pointers to help me get started so I didn't feel so lost when I joined in. So I just wanted to throw this clip in here. So I jumped down into the dungeon, and this person is like literally making this as I'm sitting here. So he's like making looks like a Hoyt, some type of Hoyt system. I think that's what it's called, Hoyt. Basically, the monsters kind of get pushed up into here, and then it'll push them across, and then they'll hit this, and then it'll push them up, and then they'll get stuck in this little box here. And then it sucks for summoners because melee and range can go through that wall. Oh, he didn't put the things on there. Melee and range can go through that wall a little better. Summoners have to kind of sit up here and do this. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of show this. It's neat how people come down here and they'll make arenas. They'll have this thing pimped out. This is very bare bones. They'll have it all looking nice and pretty, and it just gets wiped every 2 days. You know, people just come in here. The building aspect of Terraria, man, it really attracts builders. It's something else. But I did just see the merchant come. I'm gonna check that. But that's pretty much the end of the video. Like I said, appreciate if you hook up a subscribe. It helps the channel. I'm getting close to 3,000 subscriptions. It'd be really cool to hit that. I know it's not, you know, it's like, hey guys, I got 100,000 subscribers. I got 1 million subscribers. Just a small channel, just a dude doing this on the side, trying to bring some content, some good information to the internet and to you guys. So hope you appreciate it. I'm gonna go check out this merchant. Where'd he spawn at? Oh, here, I got a bonus track for you. I just remembered. I made a map of all the treasure chests in the dungeon. So is that the merchant right there? Let me do the merchant, and then I'm gonna put a little link, or not a link. I'll put the graphic of this dungeon and where the like the crimson chest, the hollow chest, all that stuff. So let me see. Just the best way to go up would probably be that. Drop down. I just like to check and see what he's got. What statue he's got. Ale Tosser. What is that? Let's see what that is. The exotic chew toy. Magic hat. These Zappinators and the other one are nice when you get started, by the way. If you pick a Druid, which is a caster class, I think the Zappinator and the orange one, which is 100 magic damage, I think, I didn't try it myself, but I think if you wear the spacesuit, it's mana free, and you're doing 50 to 100 damage, depending on which one of these you get, mana free. It's like the most uber starting weapon ever. Just FYI. Alright, so let me throw that image up real quick, and I'll probably have to do like a quick voiceover just explaining where everything's at, and then that should be the video. So for the chest, the ice chest is in this first area, so there's always going to be a tunnel to the dungeon here. So go to the mushroom pylon, jump off right here. This is all prevents you from editing here, because this is where Skeletron spawns. So people cut down right here They go down, and they usually build an arena right here. The frost chest is here. The ice chest is right there. So that's the ice chest. Now let me pull the graphic up that shows the rest. Basically, the rest is down here. Might be able to show it real quick. So you come down here, and if you just kind of drill down this way, the desert chest, I think, is here. And it might not let me mouse over it because I'm too far away or something, maybe. And there's a desert chest here, and I think the jungle chest here. And then over this way is a chest. And then I think maybe over here. But let me pull up the graphic rate real quick and show you. But main point is, fall down here. This is the ice chest area. Fall down some more, and then this is going to be the area where the graphic is that I show you. Okay, so here's the graphic. So this is the second after the ice chest is up here. You fall down some more. So this is the desert chest here. Corruption chest is right here next to it. Then you go over this way and up is the jungle chest, and then up this way is the crimson chest. And then if you go over and down up here is the hollow chest. So that's where all the chests are. Almost forgot about that, so good thing for the people who stayed till the end of the video. You are rewarded with this. Maybe I won't even put a link in the description. I don't know. Nah, no, I'll probably put a link in the description, but whatever. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. I'll just scroll through the world of what I have uncovered so you can kind of see where everything's at as I do my outro. I hope you liked the video. I hope you find the content helpful, interesting, to know about the server. And I'm just going to scroll through the map so you can see where kind of everything is at, or at least what I've uncovered. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. I don't have a lot of videos coming out because work is demanding right now. And honestly, I wouldn't even be playing this game other than I'd be playing EQ right now. I just don't have time to dedicate to raiding and EQ and leveling and EQ. So I play this game because I can jump on and off. I can pop in and out. Oh, my wife's calling me. I gotta go do something. See you later. Oh, it's 30 minutes later. I'll jump back in and play for another 30 minutes to an hour or whatever. So, you know, this gives me that ability. And it's just an easier game to jump in and out of or drop an hour. Like right now, it's 12 o'clock at night. I should be in bed. I gotta get up for work early in the morning. But I wanted to try to get a lot of this recording done, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one. And as always, keep on playing video games. Keep on jamming.